universe, baby. And no matter how the streets are chat, you always have me back, baby. Me wish you could have unlimited hours. I would have sent you unlimited flowers. Yeah. Check it, groove galore, honorable, this and shit, sing for them.
Don't know what to do about this love I feel for you, and it makes no sense to try to explain that I can put you to the corner in the very back of my mind, but somehow you're here in every single way.
Talk to me, baby.
And I can't escape,
I believe you.
Running away from the pain I don't make up. And I can't erase what you do to me, baby, what you do to me.
Okay.
I wanna give you loving like you never had before. I wanna be the one who holds you down. No matter what, I'll be there for sure. I wanna be the woman of your dreams and so much more. So baby, help me learn to love you. Baby, just love you, love you, love you. Baby, just love you.
I love you, man. So baby, make me take you to me kingdom. My love conquers and not divide. Where you not be sacrifice your pride. Rhapsody with me and you, every melody's timeless. You left me speechless and mindless. Sipping on devotions. Every touch is like a happy pill. Relationship of a bill. Me I go love you right back, so no worry. Straight shooter with it, Steph Curry. Me we take you in a rollers and flip flop. Me we do anything we make we lip flop, and anything we rock and you like it. Baby, me choose you first. You are my Miss Universe, baby. And no matter how the streets are chat, you always have me back, baby.
Hey Marjorie, how's it going? It's Honorable Tessan Chin. It's Groove Galore. It's a classic, alright?
Don't know what to do about this love I feel for you, and it makes no sense to try to explain that I can put you to the corner in the very back of my mind, but somehow you're here in every single way.
Talk to me, baby.
And I can't escape,
I believe you.
Running away from the pain I don't make up. And I can't erase what you do to me, baby, what you do to me.
Okay.
I wanna give you loving like you never had before. I wanna be the one who holds you down. No matter what, I'll be there for sure. I wanna be the woman of your dreams and so much more. So baby, help me learn to love you. Baby, just love you, love you, love you. Baby, just love you.
I love you, man. So baby, make me take you to me kingdom. My love conquers and not divide. Where you not be sacrifice your pride. Rhapsody with me and you, every melody's timeless. You left me speechless and mindless. Sipping on devotions. Every touch is like a happy pill. Relationship of a bill. Me I go love you right back, so no worry. Straight shooter with it, Steph Curry. Me we take you in a rollers and flip flop. Me we do anything we make we lip flop, and anything we
got larger Marjorie.
It's that test and not try like you.
Kiki, how's it going?
Black over.
And I can't erase what you do to me.
Can't erase it.
Baby, what you do to me.
That's right.
Hey, I wanna give you love.
Baby, me choose you first. You are my Miss Universe,
baby.
And no matter how the streets are chat, you always have me back, baby. Me wish you have unlimited hours. That's right. I would have sent you unlimited flowers.
Yeah.
Where's he loving this one, Kiki? Big tune.
Sing for them.
Don't know what to do about this love I feel for you, and it makes no sense to try to explain that I can put you to the corner in the very back of my mind, but somehow you're hearing every single.
Definitely condolences and love to Mish.
And I've
Been there, trust me, I know it. It's tough.
I believe you.
running away from the pain I know may come, and I can't erase what you do to me, baby, what you do to me.
Okay.
I wanna give you loving like you never had before. I wanna be the one who holds you down, no matter what, I'll be there for sure. I wanna be the woman of your dreams and so much more. So baby, help me learn to love you. Baby, just love you, love you, love you. Baby, just love you.
I love you, man. So baby, make me take you on me kingdom. My love conquers and not divide. Where you're not to sacrifice your pride. Rhapsody with me and you, every melody styleless. You left me speechless and mindless. Sipping on devotions. Every touch is like a happy pill. Relationship of a bill. Me, I go love you right back, so no worry. Straight shooter with it, Steph Curry. We will take you in a rollers and flip-flop. We will do anything to make we live-flop. And anything we wrong, now you like me fix that. Test and not try lock your heart, cause you know me big lock.
And I can't erase what you do to me.
Can't erase it.
Baby, what you do to me.
That's right.
Hey, I wanna give you loving like you never had before. I wanna be the one who holds you down, no matter what, I'll be there for sure. I wanna be a woman of your dreams and so much more. So baby, help me learn to love you. Baby, just to love you, love you, love you. Baby, just to love you.
I love you, baby.
Baby, just to love you, love you, love you.
This one's for the lovers. Listen.
I can't run away anymore because my aching dreams will lead me right.
Got large ups and such. It was popping. How's it going?
I can't live this life anymore because the only truth is that I have fun. Baby, just to love you, love you, love you. Baby, just to love you.
Can I get it?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wiseman Music.
Baby, you got me wanting ya. I like the way you got me feeling. All the ladies, they be on ya. You don't pay them no attention. Baby, you're the only one for me. You know I never leave you lonely. Even though the other boys want me, I never let them get up on me. You don't know when then I can't stand you. You keep me busy, you a handful. Everything about you I can handle. Baby, we knotted like a band too. Baby, bring your body over. Let the rhythm take over. Let the rhythm take over. Oh, we move it like a samba, samba. Your rhythm like a conga, conga. Making my body rumba, rumba. La 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 bamba. So baby, if you can, let me lay along time. Let me lay along time, baby. Let me lay along time. Let me lay along time, baby. Let me lay along time, baby. Lay along time, so baby, if you can, let me lay along time. Lay along time, baby. I know you've been waiting on a dance like this. Don't know if I get another chance like this. Move my feet and move my hands like this. Baby, I love you forever, I promise.
Shauna Lee, ladies and gentlemen, this one is called Love You Long Time, all right?
Yeah.
Dope songstress.
Ooh.
Doing a thing, man.
Yeah.
Shauna Lee, ladies.
Baby,
Gentlemen.
I like the way you got me feeling.
Yeah, man.
All the ladies, they be on ya. You don't pay them no attention. Baby, you the only one for me. You know I never leave you lonely.
Hey, Beverly.
No, the mother boys.
Gene, what up?
I never let them get up on me. You don't know when then I can't stand you. You keep me busy, you a handful. Everything about you I can handle. Baby, we knotted like a band too. Baby, bring your body over. Let the rhythm take over. Let the rhythm take over. Oh, we moving like a samba. Your rhythm like a conga. Making my body rumba. La 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 bamba. Samba. If you can, let me lay you long time. Let me lay you long time, baby. Let me lay you long time. Baby.
Much blessings to you. Trust me, Beverly, it's always a pleasure.
Baby, if you I know you've been waiting on a dance like that. Don't know if I get another chance like that. Move my feet and move my hands like this. Baby, I love you forever, I promise. I hope the feelings mutual. Love you to forever, baby, here we go. Crazy about my baby, I'ma let it show. Keeping our love moving on the dance floor. Baby, bring your body over. Let the rhythm take over. Let the rhythm take over. Oh, like a samba. Your rhythm like a conga. Making my body rumba. La 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 bamba. Let me lay you long time, baby. Let me lay you long time.
Got large up DJ Lance, walk on.
Let me lay you long time. Let me lay you long time. We move it like a samba. Your rhythm like a conga. Making my body rumba. La 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 bamba. We move it like a samba. Your rhythm like a conga. Making my body rumba. La 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 bamba. Baby, let me give me a long time. Let me lay a long time. Let me love you again. Let me lay a long time. Let me lay a long time. Love you for a long time. Let me love you for a long time. Let me lay a long time. Let me lay a long time, baby. Let me lay a long time.
This is Wayne Wonder saying J. Cole, legal businessman. Bang, boom.
I me say this a protege, homegrown with G. Cole, what you say, but make them know what reggae music we a play, this is protege, the one and only representing for G. Cole, you know. Check it. Ease out.
And we said them not got no style like we. G. Cole, them not got no style like we. None of them no wicked nor wild like we. Accurate. Kabaka Pyramid representing for the #1 selector and radio host. It's all about G. Cole. Keep it locked. Accurate.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Kalia. I'm hanging out with your boy G. Cole on the Homegrown Show.
Yes. Welcome one and all to this Homegrown with G-Cole coming to the Massive and crew right now. Live. All the people listening in on Royal Zion Highness Radio, man. Thank you all so much. All right. Everybody listening in on homegrownwithgcole.com. People watching on the Facebook page. I appreciate you. We got the YouTube Massive too. Okay. Everybody watching in live on YouTube. We appreciate you big time. Big time. It's Monday. We'll try our best, to make the happiness, share it a little bit, right, Beverly? Spread the love. You know what I mean? There's a lot of crazy things going on right now. Like Kiki mentioned earlier, Marjorie mentioned early, got to send some condolences and stuff like that out to Mish. Just posted today that she lost her brother. I know that's a tough one. I have too. You know, the amazing thing about life, and it's funny, some might realize or not, or can agree or not. Lost my mom, lost my grandma, grandpa, then I lost my brother. You know what I mean? My mother, the nearest, dearest person to be on the planet, you know? My grandma too. But it's a different feeling when you lose a sibling. It's different. There's something different because you know what? They're not supposed to go. Not yet. You know what I mean? Even though, you know, parents sometimes don't live extensively long lives. My mom left me at 62. But when my brother left me at 42, it was a little different. So, you know, so I feel I can understand the struggle, the pain. And for that, I want to send out, of course, my heartfelt condolences to her and to her family. Got to big up again the Royal Zion Highness family. We just lost DJ Ras Oz, you know, spirited brother, you know what I mean? Quirky, funny, just one Ras Oz, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's you gotta take him, but like, yo, Oz, you tripping. But that's Ras Oz, man. Cool, dude. So my sincere condolences goes out to his family, his listeners, his fans, and his radio family. You know what I mean? So I gotta big up everybody. And of course, got large up Esther Selector, large up DJ Apples, large up everybody, large up to all of you all that take a minute out of your time to come hang out with us. What up, Hope? Hey, Claudia, how's it going? I mean, DJ Lance, large up. Thank you all so much. I don't take it for granted. You know what I mean? Many things you could be doing. Trust me. Many things you could be doing. So I appreciate y'all. And as always, we send our love, we send our thoughts, we send our appreciation, our thank yous out there to all the people laying it on the line for us, the frontline people. You know what I mean? Our nurses, our doctors, our paramedics, our first responders, our firefighters, the good law enforcement professionals, the whack ones. Again, we're not stop on the fight. It's just what it is, right? It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Tonight, you see me put up there, I have conversations, man. I want to have conversations. It runs over. You know what I mean? It runs over. I was having a conversation with a couple of ladies, you know, and we're not going back to the whole single vibe and whatever, but, you know, we're talking to a couple of ladies who expressed, you know, it's a little different when men approach them these days. And I've had conversations with men too, single men, and I get the impression sometimes that the whole intimidating factor is there. Some people meet a woman and they find a woman intimidating. I don't know why, but we're going to talk about it. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about it. Apparently they're intimidated for one reason or another. Ladies, don't look at it no way, you know, sometimes it's a compliment. Some way, shape, or form, right? Let's roll with it. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is homegrown.
This one goes out to my queens, you know what I mean. Treat me like a queen, a queen. Parfait comme ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. Because I am a queen, a queen. C'est pour comprendre ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. I'm not the kind of girl you can win in one night. Fool me with your lies. Oh no, I'm not that type of girl. I'm not the one you call 3 a.m. in the morning just because you're lonely. Oh no, baby, you know I ain't in no rush. Let's take it slow. If you can't wait, then boy, you got to go. Dealing with me, there's one thing you need to know. Ain't in no rush. Let's take it slow. This one goes out to my queens. You know what I mean.
Where's the soldier from the tippy, right?
Treat me like a queen, a queen. Parfait comme ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. Because I am a queen, a queen. C'est pour comprendre ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. I'm not the kind of girl you can win in one night. fool me with your lies. Oh no, I'm not that type of girl. I'm not the one you call 3 a.m. in the morning just because you're lonely. Oh no, baby, you know I ain't in no rush. Let's take it slow. If you can't wait, then boy, you got to go. Dealing with me, that's one thing you need to know. Ain't in no rush. Let's take it slow. If you can't wait, then boy, you got to go. Dealing with me, that's one thing you need to know. You gotta treat me like a queen, a queen. Parfait-moi comme ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. Make sure you love me right. Because I am a queen, a queen. C'est pour comprendre ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. I am the kind of girl that you wine and you dine. Take me for a good time. Introduce me to your mama. Call me when you wanna plan forever. It's not just a physical thing. Mentally, boy, you have to stimulate. You better know that I'm a lady. Oh, baby, boy, you know I ain't it.
Condolences, Beverly.
Let's take it slow. If you can't wait, then boy, you got to.
The passing of your beautiful friend.
That's one thing you need.
Tough not true, tough not true, tough not true.
To know one thing you
I'm
need.
gonna drop some tunes for you today, alright?
Let's take it slow. If you can't wait,
Lift them spirits and all, okay?
dealing with me, that's one thing you need to know. You gotta treat me like a queen, a queen. Parfait-moi comme ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. C'est pour comprendre, because I am a queen, a queen. C'est pour comprendre ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. Treat me like a queen, a queen, a queen, a queen. Parfait-moi comme ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. Treat me like a lady, because I am a queen. Treat me like a queen. C'est pour comprendre ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. Treat me like a queen, a queen, a queen. Parfait-moi comme ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. Yeah, I'm worth it, because I am a queen. You better know queen. C'est pour comprendre ça, chérie. If you're gonna love me how you love me, boy, just make sure you love me right. You got to love me right. You got to love me right, yeah.
Her name is Lavi.
This one goes out to my queens, you know what I mean.
If I tell you, say I love this tune anymore, man. Pre-release, ladies and gentlemen, we dig up the hard drives, and I mean, Vladimir the thing, it's Dottie, it's called Superwoman.
Everywhere I'm turning, nothing seems complete. I stand up and I'm searching for the better part of me. I hang my head from sorrow, state of humanity. I wear it on my shoulders. Gotta find the strength in me. 'Cause I am Superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, she is. Even when I'm a mess, I still put on a vest with an S on my chest. Oh, yes, I'm a Superwoman.
Got to. I love this one, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all do too. It's Dottie, all right? SDS, baby.
Everywhere I'm turning, nothing seems complete. I stand up and I'm searching for the better part of me. I hang my head from sorrow, state of humanity.
Definitely, Beverly, you know it already.
I wear it on my shoulders. Gotta find the strength in me. 'Cause I am Superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, she is. Even when I'm a mess, I still put on a vest with an S on my chest. Oh, yes, I'm a Superwoman. For all the mothers fighting, better days to come. And all my women sitting here trying to come home before the sun. Come home before the sun. And all my sisters coming together to say yes I will, yes I can, 'cause I am Superwoman. Yes I am.
Dropping this for all the amazing ladies out there, man.
Even when I'm a
Large up Viv.
put on a vest.
All the ladies up there in Tunbridge Wells.
Oh yes, I'm a Superwoman.
Gotta large up, alright? Krista, baby.
And I'm breaking down, and I can't be found.
Leslie.
I start to get weak, 'cause no one knows me underneath these clothes. I can't fly. We can fly. Oh, 'cause I am Superwoman. Yes, I.
What up, Christian?
Yes, she.
Large on my YouTube fam. What up? Core Springs in the building.
I'm a still put on a vest with an S on my chest. Oh, yes, I'm a Superwoman. Oh, can you tell me I am Superwoman? Yes, I am. Oh,
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole. He's got a heart of gold.
vest with an S on my chest. Oh, yes, I'm a Superwoman.
Gotta big up Livy. Chris, Sasha, Wagwan.
'Cause I am Superwoman. Oh, yes, I am. 'Cause I'm
The flames are going up, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, we got you covered, all right? This one sultry. Suzanne Sultry. SDS, baby. Never loved this way again.
You looked inside my fantasies and made each one come true. Something no one else had ever found a way to do. I've kept the memories one by one since you took me in, and I know I'll never love this way again. I know I'll never love this way again, so I'll keep holding on. You looked inside my fantasies and made each one come true. Something no one else had ever found a way to do. I've kept the memories one by one since you took me in, and I know I'll never love this way again. I know I'll never holding on before the good is gone. I know I'll never.
Her name is Suzanne Socha, ladies and gentlemen. The song is called Never Love This Way Again. Here we drop that one right there. It's a special tune. It's a big tune. It's a dope tune. Prior to that, you heard Dottie with SDS. You know, I had to pull it up for a minute because as those songs soak in, for me, that is. You know what I mean? There's some classics out there. Alicia, some Dionne Warwicks, some other big joints that are out there. And sometimes some of our talented folks decide, yo, we're going to touch it. Right? One of two things happen. Smash. Out the park, home run, gone all the way down the street. And then sometimes some other things happen. You know what I mean? But if it now goes smash, home run, all the way down the street, leave it alone. Leave it alone. This right here, smash, home run, all the way down the street. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Suzanne Sultry. Classic made into a new classic. On the show for the classics. Yeah.
You looked inside my fantasies and made each one come true. Something no one else had ever found a way to do. I've kept the memories one by one since you took me in, and I know I'll never love this way again. I know I'll never love this way again, so I'll keep holding on before the good is gone. I know I'll never love this way again. Hold on, hold on, hold on. You see, a fool will lose tomorrow, reaching back for yesterday. I won't turn my head in sorrow if you should go.
Large of Amelius.
I'll stand here and remember just how good it's been, and I know I'll never love this way again. And I know I'll never love this way again, so I'll keep holding on, yes, before the good is gone. I know I'll never love this way again. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Up top, ladies and gentlemen, here she goes, all right?
I know I'll never love this way again.
Lots of Lincoln Chain family.
I keep holding on before the good is gone. I know I'll never love this way again. Hold on, hold on. I know I will never love this way again.
This one's called Never Love This Way Again, Christian. Classic ones.
I know I'll never love this way again.
So here's the deal. You hear me talking about SDS. We dropped something from Dottie. We just dropped something from Suzanne Sultry. Here's the thing about group dynamics, and you'll find it in your Destiny's Child and a whole bunch of other groups, right? You always got there's dynamics and there's personalities, right? There's the edgy one, you know what I mean? That edgy. And they have the other one that a little wild, a little out there, you know what I mean? But there's always one that brings it home. You know what I mean? A little bit of spirituality, a little bit of, you know what I mean? She's the heaven credit. She's giving them a pass, you know what I mean? So they don't straight up go to the hot spot. You know what I'm saying? So we always got that one, and we got to big up Shauna Dazzle for bringing a little bit, an anti-heathen to a heathen organization. It's called Glorious, baby. I joke, man. Balance all the thing that you sultry.
I will bless the Lord at all times. I will pray. When I think of all the good he's done and consider his ways, mercy's pouring down like rain, and I'm flooded by grace.
What one line is?
And not because of any good I've done, his love remains the same. So I sing, may the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. May they know the power and might of your glorious name.
How you mean? How you mean? How you mean? How you mean?
Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. I will bless the Lord. At all times I will praise. When I think of all the good he's done and consider his ways, mercy's pouring down like rain, and I'm flooded by grace. And not because of any good I've done, his love remains the same. So I sing, may the whole world see the light.
Yo, no. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's called Glorious, all right? It's Shauna Dazzle, all right? And here's the deal. The spiritual vibe, the energy, I love it. Now remember, if you're gonna draw this into the church, you gotta prep the people. You know what I'm saying? You can't just draw, mark the message is there, and we're talking about the Almighty and the glory. It's called Glorious, you know what I mean? Right now the title, I'm making right then and there. Right then and there. You understand what I'm saying? So here's the dealie. You have to be careful though, you're drawing a church. Because I could see right about now I'm in church. You know what I mean? I'm a church going brother, no matter what they tell you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I ain't been in a minute, but my membership's still good, right? But you draw them tune in a church. And you have to be careful because the audience might respond a little different from the reverend want them to respond. You know what I mean? Lighters, gunfinger, piano star, bang, 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 boom, bang, ja. You know what I mean? In the church. So you got to prep the audience when you're dropping what they call big tunes in the church. You know what I mean? When the tune them big, your accent change, you go English on them. You know what I mean? You got British, you know what I mean? When you drop the big tune them in the church, it's going to be amazing. But just prep the audience, prep the congregation so them don't lose their mind and beat down the wall and say, John Star, bang, bang. I may even pull out something and pop off into the church, and then the reverend said, John Star, it's called Glorious, it's Shauna Dazzle.
Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. I will bless the Lord. At all times I will praise. When I think of all the good he's done and consider his ways.
It's a brand new SDS coming soon.
Mercy's poured.
Oh, you mean?
Like rain, and I'm flooded by grace.
Yes, I am.
And not because of any good I've done, his love remains the same. So I sing, may the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. May they know the power and might of your glorious name. May the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. May they know the power and might of your glorious name. I get up and lift your name. I get up and give you praise. I know where I could be now, so I stand unashamed. God, you've never let me down in spite of even me. And you prove yourself faithful, you reign in majesty. So I sing, may the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. May they know the power and might of your glorious name. May the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. May they know the power and might of your glorious name. Whoa, 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 whoa.
This is right about when the Reverend said, well, now what I smell there?
Whoa.
I can't chalice them up in my church. Your mother, I hear.
Got my list, can remember you saved my son and protected my unborn child from the bullets of a gun. Remember you gave me faith when my strength was less than great. You know, God, you were never late. God, I know you're on my side. You have shown up every time, my God. No, I had to finish June, 'cause where would I be without you? Hey, hey, the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. May they know the power and might of your glorious name. Oh, may the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. May they know the power and might of your glorious name. May the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. May they know the power and might of your glorious name. Oh, may the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. And may they know the power and might of your glorious name. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Lodge of East London. Massive and Crew at the Den, always locked in. Wagwan Duval. Birmingham is in the building.
Hello? Excuse me, then let me count another stop, boy. We've come too far now. For you to see we flop. Yeah, what? They were there when I got locked, making sure that my pocket's flat. Left me feeling like a lonely child, walking out on life. Boy, there was no sympathy. Nobody never cared about we, no. How could we stay strong when everything we do was wrong? They left me stranded all day, so I cried in the rain. So no one else could see my pain.
It's your boy, Blackberry Thompson from London, UK. Touchdown in Montego Bay. Heading to Ocherias, to the curls and turns of Fern Gully, to the green hills of Walker's Hood. One DJ, G. Cole, with a homegrown show. Hey, G. Cole, you smashing it.
Excuse me, and let me count another stop, boy. We've come too far now. For you to see we flop. Yeah, what? They were there when I got locked, making sure that my pocket's flat. Left me feeling like a lonely child, walking out on life. Boy, there was no sympathy. Nobody never cared about we, no. How could we stay strong when everything we do was wrong? They left me stranded all day, so I cried in the rain. So no one else could see my pain. They left me stranded. Yes, I cried in the rain. So no one else could see my pain. Separation has made me strong, 'cause everywhere I turn, I didn't belong. Got no friends in high places, with no smile on their faces. Got myself wanted. Them cop friends said dead, but better alive. Just because I sneeze, swear they got me on my knees. They left me stranded, and yes, I cried in the rain, so no one else could see my pain.
Dropping some joints of Beverly, you know what I mean?
They left me
Some tunes for me.
Yes, I cry.
Everybody needs some upliftment today, you know?
No one else
Thoughts and prayers, man. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
thought they had me then. Yeah, thought they stopped me then. Yeah, thought they'd break me then. Yeah, please. But look at them now. Swear they had me then. Think again. Swear they break me then. Think again. Them swear them done me then. Boy. But where are they now? When them left me stranded. What I hit. So I cried in the rain. Yeah. So no one else can't see my pain.
Dropping a joint you don't hear every day.
They left me stranded.
And Robinson Stranded. Positive Journey Music.
So no one else could
Wagwan Daja.
Listen this. Serious example for a guy who feel like he want to fight down the next man. Yeah. The next brethren or the next musician. Just remember, enough time drummers become singers. Watch your manners. Yes. These dogs might be sweating, but long hair covers it. Sometimes we play in the rain to hide with tears. We not show fear. They left me stranded for death, so I cried in the rain. So no one else could see my pain. But some of them, they left me stranded, exposed. Yes, I cried in the rain. So no one else could see my pain. No tears, yes, stranded for death. So I cried in the rain. Yeah. No one else could see my pain. They left me stranded.
Once again, just say rest in peace, Ras Oz. Thoughts and prayers go out to your family, man.
Won't get vulnerable, yeah. Feels better when we get miserable. We're not gonna show no tears. We have to survive, yeah. Love and unity. Love and unity. Blue fire, hear this. Pass through my name and spread, so we come upon the whole of them. Boy, Senegal to Botswana, we are defend, so we come upon the whole of them. Boy, propaganda is the name of the game. Spreading lies, captivating the brain. At our weakest moment every time. You don't sit them down no heart. This is how they come together and design their way to control mankind. It's easy to see.
Look at my Toronto Massive. Wagwan Linus. Tracy was good. Yeah, man. It's Blue Fire. Peter Morgan.
Senegal to Botswana, we are defend, so we come upon the whole of them.
Tell them get up, stand up and jump. Only if you get up, stand up and jump. Step up, down to Ghana. Only if you get up, stand up and jump. South Africa, Uganda. Only if you get up, stand up and jump. Gather round upon your ears and cock it up. Cause intentions be on the best, and not to mention all the smarts in the music. We are top the genres and the movie charts. So if Africa the worst place in the world, why the music pyramid in and them dollar fool the world? Cause they want you to believe that them alone are the supreme. But the foundation of blood upon the backs of human beings is a matrix that create to always keep you upon your knee. Cause if Africa unite back in them, keep them free. We tell them rumor they must spread.
Rumor they must spread, so we come upon the whole of them. Boy, Kenya straight to Ghana, we are defend, so we come upon the whole of them. Boy,
well, hear me now, Japan, get up, stand up and jump. Sudan, get up, stand up and jump. Ethiopia, the promised land, we get up, stand up and jump. All Botswana and Nigeria, we get up, stand up and jump. Gather round upon the ears and talk it up.
Know thyself and free your mind, yeah. Don't get caught
Blue Fire, Africa, we love Peter. Talk to them.
Love and unity.
Need to stop with the gun finger up. So the man them do it at champs and I apologize. Y'all gonna have me apologizing soon, alright? Yeah, man.
Consumer them a spread, so we come to pon the whole of them. Boy, Senegal to Botswana we are defend, so we come to pon the whole of them. Boy, propaganda is the name of the game. Spreading lies, captivating the brain. At our weakest moment every time. You don't sit them down no heart. This is how they come together and design.
Hey EK,
where to control.
How you doing?
Kind. It's easy to see, don't be blind.
Large up King Banton.
Wake up and know the day and time.
Harmony Town.
Oh, consumer they must spread, so we come to pon the whole of them. Boy, Senegal to Botswana we are defend, so we come to pon the whole of them. Boy,
tell them get up, stand up and jump. Only if you get up, stand up and jump. Step up, down to Ghana. Only if you get up, stand up and jump. South Africa, Uganda. Only if you get up, stand up and jump. Gather round upon your ears and cock it up. Cause intentions be on the best, and not to mention all the smarts in the music. We are top the genres and the movie charts. So if Africa the worst place in the world, why the music pyramid in and them dollar fool the world? Cause they want you to believe that them alone are the supreme, but the foundation of blood upon the backs of human beings is a matrix them create to always keep you upon your knee. Cause if Africa unite, the kingdom gave them free. We tell them rumor they must spread.
Rumor they must spread, so we come to pon the whole of them.
Wait, so where my disco lights at? Not you. It's only right.
It's a Ghana where defend, so we come to
I should.
On the road again. Well, hear me now, Japanese, get up, stand up and jump. Sudan, get up, stand up and jump. Ethiopia, the promised land, we get up, stand up and jump. All Botswana and Nigeria, we get up, stand up and jump. Gather round upon the ears and cock it up.
Know thyself and free your mind, yeah. Don't get caught in their lap sometimes. They trick us with illusion, trapped in the midst of confusion.
They never talk about King David and King Solomon. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, him are the conquering lion. They Selassie I the first, the emperor of Mount Zion. History I tell me Manson Musa was the richest man. Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and not to mention Farrakhan. Him and the man who make $1 million for march in Washington. Don't forget about apartheid when Mandela trampled on them. Never tell you all of them are African. All of them are up there. Rumor they must spread.
Rumor they must spread, so we come to pon the whole of them. Boy, from Ethiopia to South Africa we are defend, so we come to pon the whole of them. Boy,
well, Africans, me want you get up, stand up and jump. Mali, get up, stand up and jump. Angola and Somalia, get up, stand up and jump. All my people, them in Zambia, get up, stand up and jump. Gather round upon the ears and cock it up. Eat them up and we uniting for one Africa.
One Africa.
Uniting for one Africa.
One Africa.
One
Africa.
It's about that time for the Reasoning Show. Yeah, man, tell your friends to tell their friends to join us right here. Take a minute to share the link or do whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. Invite your friends, your fam.
Unity.
Ladies, I gotta ask some questions, man. But no, it's all about the virtuous women. And before we even get into them thing there, got a special one we're gonna slide in. It's Sadiq and Fire Mama Jambi.
Become
so virtuous. Mama Jambi
Sadiq.
This woman so virtuous. Woman, you are my life, love. Take full control. Me and you in this love. But I know one think I mess things up. To me, you surrender. Though I am no big spender. Me and you in this love. But I know one think I mess things up. Benz and Beamers gonna get me out. She knows they're dreamers. She's a virtuous sister, loyal, Lord, and we're
You're listening to Homegrown G Cole. He's got a heart of gold.
The big money spenders. She's a virtuous sister, loyal, Lord, and we're a crown. That's why you are my life, my love. Take full control.
Rest in peace, Brenda.
This love, but no I know one become mess things up. To me surrender. Though I am no big spender. Me and you in this love, but no I know one become mess things up. Talk to me, Jamie.
Penzi letu kama smack baby. Nira kama kuvunja gololi. Busu lako lanitibu.
So virtuous. Woman Jamie
Sadike.
This woman so virtuous. Woman, you are my life, love. Take full control. Me and you in this love. But I know one think I mess things up. To me, surrender. Though I am no big spender. Me and you in this love.
What up, Elaine?
But I know one.
How you doing?
Mess things up. Benz and Beamers gonna get me out. She knows they're dreamers. She's a virtuous sister, loyal, Lord, and we're a crown. They are me yard and I watch the pretender. The big money spenders. She's a virtuous sister, loyal, Lord, and we're a crown. That's why you are my life, love. Take full control. Me and you in this love. But no I know one think I mess things up. To me surrender. Though I am no big spender. Me and you in this love. But no I know one think I mess things up. Talk to me, Jamie.
Penzi letu kama smack baby. Nira kama kuvunja gololi. Busu lako lanitibu. Mimi Etwende pole pole taratibu baby. Mwenda pole pole kweli hajikwai. Sitaki kuvunja moyo haifai.
That's why you are my life, love. Take full control. Me and you in this love. But no I know one think I mess things up. To me surrender. Though I am no big spender. Me and you in this love. But no I know one think I mess things up.
Siku nyingi nimekuwaza, siamini nimekupata. Baby, nipe mapenzi. To cherish and to hold.
Cherish you, baby.
To love and to
walk on Denise.
Penzi, I wanna stay with you.
Benz and Beamers gonna get me out. She knows they're dreamers.
I know.
She's a virtuous sister, loyal, I know we're a crown. They are me yard and now watch the pretenders. The big money spenders. She's a virtuous sister, loyal, I know we're a crown. That's why you are my life, my love. Take full control. Me and you in this love. But no I know what can mess things up. To me you surrender. Though I am no big spender. Me and you in this love. But no I know what can mess things up. Hey. Sweet mama Jamie.
Sadiki, ladies and gentlemen. Fire Moma Jambi. I love that song. It's called Virtuous Sister. Of course, we got to drop it for the ladies, man. The virtuous ladies, all right? So we got some vibe, we got some convo, we got some things we got to talk about, all right? Ladies, I guess I got to ask you all, and you know what? We might even open up the phone lines, 954-372-5453. We just might open up the phone lines for those who want to give us a stern, proper, real deal opinion. 954-372-5453. So for the single ladies out there rolling around, doing what they do, you know what I mean? Big time things. I mean. So what I've come across in my very recent conversation is that it's been coming up, the whole concept of, I'm intimidated. And that's what the fellas don't verbalize that to the ladies, but they'll say it to their brethren, you know what I mean? In some way, shape, or form, because the ego thing stand up already, but intimidation, and I wonder why. So guy meets girl, what is it that intimidates you? Is it the confidence? Is it the fact that you think that person's at a place in their life that you are not there yet, or so forth? But what I get a lot of times as I sit back and I hear these conversations is I get a lot of insecurities that are projected on folks. And that happens a lot, where people project their own insecurities on folks. And I get it twisted. Some of the people I might not be that confident. I might not be at that place in my life where I really, 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 really would want to be. Instead of that, no, you start projecting it on the ladies, and okay, they're intimidating, they're emasculating, they're this, they're that, in the so-called independence and whatever. I hear a lot of people talk about, which you would think are pluses. If you're meeting a lady out there, don't you want that lady to be independent? Don't you want her to be strong? Don't you want her to have a voice? Don't you want her to be able to stand on her own 2 feet? Don't you want her to be able to represent herself if and when you are not around? I would. I definitely would. But I was having a conversation with our brethren, you know what I mean? And blessings, Suzette, how are you? So good to see you. I was having a conversation with our brethren, and he was talking about this young lady that he met, this beautiful young lady he met, and I'm like, all right, cool. So did you speak to her? Did you say, yeah, just say what's up and whatnot? But he started telling me she come on, she seemed like, she might be, a little, what was the word he used? I don't want to say stuck up, but he said something. And I'm like, why you said that? Because I met the lady before. I don't know if she ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? But so the man said, so I asked, why you say that, where that come from? And as I heard him talk and explain why, I didn't get from him that this lady expressed anything. When I say anything, I mean anything that would indicate that she has a chip on her shoulder, that she's a snob. Don't get me wrong, those people do exist, you know what I mean? And if they exist, we call it out, we call it what it is. You do have a lot of people walking around like that, not just women, but men too. So based on what he's telling me, I grasped from it, and I'm a brethren, so I told him that I don't think so. I think you've got some insecurities, and you are projecting your insecurities on the lady. So here's who this lady is, right? She's a beautiful young lady, grown woman doing her thing, accomplished in what she does, poised, you know what I mean? Can stand on her own feet, can hold a convo, quite intellectual, educated woman. A lot of things that you'd think that dude would want. Now, my brethren, I know things might not be where he wants it to be, and that's cool. But I could get that he's definitely projecting. All the things that he had mentioned about her, which she never gave off herself, he assumed all these things. I realized was based on his own insecurities. She comes across a certain way in terms of, lifestyle he might not be able to match up to and live up to, and whatever the case may be. And I don't think that was true. I mean, you all were in a casual environment. I realized right then and there it was because you are not at that point in your life or your place where you could be or do certain things. So as a result, you proactively project that on the person. How about you ask? Ask what the person's interested in. Ask what they like, where they like to go. Because here's the deal. The spot that you are right about now is not anything out of the ordinary. So the fact that she's here tonight may mean she likes spots like this and may like to come back another night. Right? What is there that you'd have to be concerned about in the way in her swag or what she does or what she says? You know what I mean? Mentioned also, well, she pull up a certain way, she drives a certain thing or whatever the case may be, and I'm starting thinking, okay, so what does Von Bridgen drive? Again, insecurities making its way to the forefront. So because she's rolling around, you know what I mean, in the Beamer, ain't nothing wrong with what you got. You know what I mean? Like what did my boy say? I got tens on, but I keep them clean though. You know what I mean? Detail the thing, I'm gonna pick her up. No feel no way. Be confident in what you've got. Right? There is no reason for you to think that she's going to look down because of the fact that she drives one thing and you drive the other. What, the standard is there? So if you don't drive a vehicle of there and higher, then is what it is. You know what I mean? I think you are person. And I told him, don't get me wrong. I told my brother, and he's watching right now. I said, yo, you're projecting. You're projecting. He's like, your thing's on. I said, hell yeah, you're projecting. Linus said, not always proactive though, the projection. What do you mean? Let me know what you mean. Let me know what you mean by that, Linus. When you say not always proactive. I think they're projecting. When I say proactively projecting is they're projecting before there is even a reason to. Because don't get me wrong, people have their insecurities. But remember, he said they didn't have that much a conversation. As I spoke to him, they didn't have that much, that in-depth a conversation for you to even have a reason to project anything. So that's why I mean when I say proactively, it's like you're coming up with the excuse in advance. You know what I mean? If she had rolled up in the busted beater and, you know, looked a certain way and give off a certain vibe, then would you be more confident because you feel like, well, some way, somehow on the tax bracket scale, she's on a lower tier than you are? Does that give you more confidence? And if that be the case there, then something is wrong. Something's wrong. If it's a situation where because of the fact that that person may appear, because even that may be wrong, you may be assuming wrong also, you know, because that person may appear that, you know, they're on a lower tier than you on the tax bracket wise, and that should no way, shape or form make you more confident, as does your speculation that she may be on a higher tier in a tax bracket than you are should not make you any less confident, right? And I say this because it's not one person I've had conversations with and it gave off that whole insecurities and projecting. Linus says subconscious goes deep. So not like you're looking for things, they just come into your thoughts and your mind agrees. Could be so. Here's what I think. The mouth says what the mind feeds it, right? I don't think things pop up in your mind. I think what's in your mind is in your mind. We learn as we go along. We are who we are. We cultivate certain thoughts, actions, practices, and it is what it is, right? I've used this analogy before. I'm never going to have a nightmare or just start talking about a unicorn running on the street, smoking a joint. You know why? Because I've never thought of that. It's never been on my mental scope. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you something, say, I see donkey, I run Caymanas Park. Why? Because it's just never come on my mental scope. But I will talk about or think about whether I accidentally blurted out or not, something that is in my mind. And I don't know, when we talk about the subconscious is not hidden stuff that you're not aware of. It's just a part of the mind that you lock some things in. So if you're projecting a certain thing and certain things come to your mouth, then maybe you slipped and you shouldn't say, and you said something you shouldn't have said. But it doesn't mean that it's not your optimal thought and believe, and you don't believe and subscribe to that theory wholeheartedly. I don't think people spit out stuff out of thin air, and it's where would it come from in their subconscious? Where would it come from in their mind? It's who they are. People don't accidentally tell you they're going to do this or they're going to do that. They're thinking about it. They probably shouldn't have said it. Wish they wouldn't have said it. Blurted it out in anger. But it's what they're capable of, right? It's what they're capable of. And that's the reason why people always say, when people tell you who they are, believe them. Don't give them the clinical excuse and the benefit of the doubt to say, boy, well, it's somewhere near sub. Or it just come and I just something them just nah. They're right there, right there, simmering. You just it's probably not cool to say. It's no different from the racism concept. When people exhibit acts or words of racism, prejudice, or whatever the case may be, and then we try to bail them out and say, well, something, they might not have meant it. That's not who they are, and whatever the case may be. Something slip. Where it slip from? Where it come from? Your mind ain't no different from a hard drive, right? It's what's in there is coming out, What was put in, what was nurtured, what was saved is the only thing you can get back out of it. So when people do things and we say, well, maybe they ain't, nah. And again, I'm no professional. That's just my opinion. I'm dropping. But from my experience with a couple of people I spoke to who have made comments like those about the ladies, and guess what? Now that I think about it, I've heard a lady make the comment regarding a man that they met. You know what I'm saying? And it was definitely insecurities. And of course, you're projecting on people. It's no different from if you have an inclination to lie and to cheat. A lot of times when somebody says something to you that you don't have proof of, you automatically tell them that they're lying, right? If you are a cheater and at some point in time you can't find your significant other, and the excuse that they give you or the answer that they give you ain't adding up, you're automatically assuming that they are cheating because that is you projecting your actions and what you would do and what you're capable of and what you're probably doing on the other person, right? So Lioness says a lot of preconceived beliefs that are learned, taught by society, experience, upbringing comes into play here, I think. Possibly, I mean, again, I'm not a clinician. I disclaimer, the views expressed by G. Cole does not represent those of Royal Zion Highness Radio, Jamaicans.com, Homegrown with G. Cole, you know what I mean? Not even Raps on Kush. I'm rogue. All right? I'm rogue. I feel you. But, so I have been taught in school, as well as by experience and by life, and by spirituality. You always hear them say, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Right? The only things I can speak on, whether educated or not educated, or, you know what I mean, whether speculatory or not, are things that I have some form, I've come in contact with. They're my feelings, my thoughts, or whatever. Again, I just me, I can't see myself speaking on something accidentally or not that I just never saw, never thought, never, whatever the case may be. Something can't get anything. Linus says expectations must come from somewhere, though. Absolutely. And feelings like you don't meet those expectations lends to the insecurities in my estimate. But you're absolutely right. It's David I. Wagwan, bro. How goes it? Welcome back to Babylon. You know what I mean? See you rolling back into town looking like you were on vacay and whatnot, not. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Again, we're talking about insecurities. Why do we project them on others? You know what I mean? Why do we project them on others? And again, just coming out of a conversation with the homie, and now that I think about it, I've had that with a female friend of mine too, where people project their insecurities on others. You know, whatever shortcomings you have and you come to the table with, you don't accept and embrace your shortcomings and figure out how you're going to fix it. You try to project that shortcoming on somebody else and say, well, it must be them. You know what I mean? It must be them. Right? If I can't afford to go to a certain spot, I should not project my insecurities on some people by saying the people in that spot are snobs. You know what I'm saying? David, I say, I've suffered from some insecurities projected onto me because you a player, and you don't know how the players always get. David, I may not understand. What you mean? I've suffered from some insecurities projected onto me. Let me know what's going. Why thing turn up right about now? Julie, how you doing? Good evening. Always good to see you. You know what? 954-372-5453. All right, 954-372-5453. Rolling across your screen. Explain what you say, because you don't know me already. I ain't too. You know what I mean? I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm likely to say some stuff that I ain't got no business saying. All right, projecting or deflecting, same kind of thing. But I feel you on that one, Julie. The deflecting thing happens a lot too, but the projecting to me is crazy, because again, that's why I'd use the phrase earlier, proactively. All right, deflect that thing, yes, on somebody, but the proactively, and I keep saying proactively, projecting your insecurities on somebody is like you're not even waiting. You don't give the person didn't do anything, and truthfully, sometimes you even know darn well that the person is not like that, but your insecurities run deep and you're traveling with them insecurities, and that's the burden you have on your shoulder. So instead of just embrace the thing and say, you know something, that's a thing going on. I'm not necessarily I can't afford that, or can't do that, You start depending. Why do they do that? You know what I mean? It's like hearing somebody say, boy, they like caviar, right? And you know damn well it's a caviar and in your budget, So what the first thing you start saying? It's gross. Oh, you know. You ever tried it? David, you know why I'm gonna put it in that chat? I don't know. It's scrolling across the screen, all right? But I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it 100, all right? I don't know the number. It's 954-372-5453. So yeah, that's the number, because I won't even front and act like I remembered it. But let's see. I think we got it in here. Lioness put it in here. 954-372-5453. All right. And yep, you are absolutely right, Lioness. Let's get into this joint right here. It's When Girl Meets Boy. Shayla Dow featuring yours truly, G. Cole. Let's roll.
G. Cole, háblame. Dime todo lo que estás pensando. Quiero saber tus secretos. ¿Te parece? When girl meets boy, she plans to make you fall in love. Some kind loving, make you look at her like there's no one else but you and I. Only a girl could understand it, 'cause I know by now you've already kissed me in your head.
Girl, I feel the same way you do. It's just a different point of view. I wanna be alone with you.
Na 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 na. So this is what we're gonna do. We're going on a date or two. I'd rather be in love with you. Na 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 na.
When boy meets girl, he starts fantasizing right away. I know, yes I know it. And in this young man's world, I've already kissed your lips and heard you say that you love, yes you love me. Only you making understand it. Oh yeah. By now we've already made love in my head. Ooh, baby.
Girl, I feel the same way you do. It's just a different point of view. I wanna be alone with you. Na 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 na.
Yeah, man, Elijah Blige about the callers on the messages.
Háblame. Dime todo lo que estás pensando. Quiero saber.
Where's the line that's hulking it?
When girl meets boy, she plans to make you
Appointment time, what's going on? How are you?
some kind.
Julianne, I got you.
Make you look at her like there's no one else but you and I. Only a girl can understand it, 'cause I know by now you've already kissed me in your head.
Girl, I feel the same way you do. It's just a different point of view. I wanna be alone with you.
Na 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 na. gonna do? We'll go on a date or two. I'd rather be in love with you. Na 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 na.
When boy meets girl, he starts fantasizing right away. I know. What up, Sylvia? And in this young man's world, I've already kissed your lips and heard you say that you love, yes, you love me. Only you make it understand. Oh yeah, oh yeah. By now we've already made love in my head. Ooh, baby,
Girl, I feel the same way you do. It's just a different point of view. I wanna be alone with you.
yeah, man, it's called When Girl Meets Boy. We're gonna pull it up again from the beginning, from the tippy, from the top, for all the people who keep requesting that one. But we got a caller on the line. Hold on, the caller. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You're HD. You're Chris. You're clear. You're clean. What's going on? Happy Monday, fam. Happy Monday.
Blessing, my brother. Always the greatest of love. Boy, G Cole. I take this moment to tell you a hats off. I am genuinely a fan of you, your show, what you have done. The people talk about people pivoting in COVID. You pivoted before COVID, and people don't give that love to people. Brethren, I love all that you're doing, and your pivot from being a recording artist, performer, member of a band, member of a group, all of these things to where you are, what you're doing for the community today. Absolute love and honor, my brother.
Give thanks. I appreciate it. It means a lot, man. Especially coming from you, it means a lot. Trust me. Grateful. Now, I got something to ask you, because you don't know. I know you are not a man that, you don't hold the opinion, and I love it. The truth, the transparency is one of the David I traits. All right. If you read the ingredients in David I, the third one says truth, opinion. But here's the thing. Let me tell you where this is coming from. I had a conversation with a virgin of mine, right? And my virgin met a young lady. Nice young lady, him say. But before the end of the evening, he just introduced himself, said hi, short conversation, left, and then proceeded to tell me the day after that the girl might be snobby or whatever. And I'm asking him why. What did she say? He couldn't tell me. He just was like, well, she don't seem like type of girl where, you know what I mean? You have to pull out the stop, so you got to go all out and you got to do this. I don't know why the man come up with that conclusion or whatever the case may be, because she never said anything. And as a brethren, I know him. I don't know where he is, position and so forth in his life. So I was saying to him pretty much, as a brethren still, I'm getting the impression that you are projecting your insecurities on her. And he's like, really, you think so? And I'm like, yeah, because he's bringing up everything, you know what I mean? She drives a BMW, she do this and that. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? It does come across as projecting insecurities. So having you on the line, let me ask you this. You mentioned even in the chat earlier that you've had that done to you. Talk to me a little bit about your experiences with people projecting their insecurities on you.
Virgin, I'm going to give you two examples. I'm going to tell you one when I was about maybe 16 or 17. Mm-hmm. Just to give you it's been happening my entire life, and then I'm going to give you one from current time. So my first kind of example of that was back in my young days when I just got in sound system business. I was trying to do more than just borrow my father's equipment and my friend's father's equipment and put them together and go do a little thing. When I was now going ahead and starting a business as a pre-18-year-old, registering a business, getting a bank loan, doing everything, marketing the business, doing it like a professional business, which at the time was very unusual. I had close friends, people who I consider to be close friends, who immediately started to tell me how it cannot work. And I don't know why they knew it couldn't work. They didn't know my business plan. They didn't know my marketing strategy. It was simply their own fear and insecurity that was being projected onto me, telling me that it cannot work, it's not going to happen. Those things fueled me to work harder to make sure that I could show them that this was possible. Right. And I was very fortunate to be successful in that space. But I got a lot of what I would just call naysaying, which didn't really have any sense. There was no reason for it except people's own insecurities. Right. That was my very first experience with that overall. But why I give you that is because I want to bring it to the current where I've had it now in different ways that have affected me much greater than that. Because those insecurities didn't really affect me because it just fueled me. Right. Where I found it to be more damaging to me personally. For example, you know, I don't want to put out anything wrong in terms of giving you misrepresentation. I'm a human being and I'm flawed to a fault like everyone else. Right. But I am not afraid to try things. And so based on my personality, I've done a lot of different things. But one thing no one can defeat is relationship, because everybody is equally flawed by no matter how good you think you are, it's two people that make a relationship work. And so I've found at times that where I've found it most painful for me is when people I'm trying to be in a relationship with has now projected their insecurities into our relationship in a different way. I'll give you an example. I was dating a young lady about 7 years ago. I say about 7 years ago. All right. And because I'm slow to jump into the sack in that way, I'm a kisser and hold hand and go out and date and try romance and all of these things. So I was dating this young lady, and about 3 months in, my girl don't understand. I don't make no move. I don't try for, dig out her pants or whatever it is that is expected. And then I started getting all of these kind of comments like, oh, he must be gay. What's wrong with him? So again, it's this sense of the insecurity of, wow, this guy is not the regular guy. It's not only every move is not about, well, is it happening tonight? Can it happen tomorrow night? And that insecurity really hurt me, because I am doing what I think is respectful and honorable of somebody who I really like and have feelings for, because I think this is a great person.
Right.
And then what comes back is, well, something wrong with you. Why you act this way? and then the double hurt for me is that, it's not like it's somebody who is from our culture. It's not like it's a Jamaican woman who I said, oh, she was just saying it to hurt me. Right. She's not even intentionally doing anything, but just the insecurities of why this man is not what she expects now translates into what's wrong with this man. Why him stay so? And let me start put some labels on him and blame him for what's not happening to my expectations. And so those are just two simple examples that jumped in my mind as you were speaking, because those are youth, and then one that really, to me, that hurts me. I love all people, gay, straight, and every other type in between. Right. But I don't want to be blamed for being something that I'm not, or accused of being something I'm not, because I'm being genuine and being respectful. And those types of things, I think, is why I said, let me call in and share.
It's amazing you mentioned that, David, because I talk about it from both vantage points. After speaking about having a conversation with my brethren and a couple other male friends, it dawned on me that I've had similar conversations with a female friend who exhibited the same trait. But you mentioned the latter thing you mentioned there just now. It's amazing coming from the women's standpoint now. It's an insecurity. Two, it's almost like culture right about now, where if you don't act a certain way, they're going to accuse you of something, because they are from birth till now, everybody want them, right? So a lot of times that ego, people always talk about the male ego, but the female ego turn up loud, So the thing is, women are not accustomed to one rejection. Two, you could have one eye and three eyebrow in a man. So not accustomed to a rejection or somebody not going straight. Here's what happened, because I've had my experience with this. Disclaimer, back in my youthful days. All right, so I had a scenario or two. Always got to drop the disclaimer. I had a scenario or two where I was dating a young lady. See, I almost pluralize the thing. A young lady. And sometimes you're not enjoy somebody's company as much as you used to, or frankly, you might never enjoy it from get-go, but she fine, right? So I'm at the point right now where sometimes I'm at the crib and I'm not doing anything, and the person would hit me up and be like, hey, you want to come over? Or can I come over? And when I decline the coming over, then it's always something. They're always reaching for something to fight, to project something on you. Something's got to be going on. I've always been accused of, oh, you're cheating, you're doing this. Well, man, I do not know. The truth is, I just wasn't honest, because what I probably should have said was, yeah, me just know. I'm not feeling you right now. So maybe that was my fault. But I understand exactly what you mean. People always projecting. And from the man's standpoint, what he did, he kept referencing all the things that he might have deemed her accomplishments. And I could see him putting them on the scale of his accomplishments, you know, and or the lack thereof. And I'm saying to myself, that's you projecting your insecurities on the woman. But it comes in all ways, shapes, and sizes. Like you're saying, people not able to exercise and execute their own goals. So what do? All of a sudden, them tell you, say, you can't do yours. It's the same thing.
Yeah, man. That's what has come to me a lot over the years. You know, I'm always doing things people think are not realistic, but I just have a different view on fears. I use my fears to fuel my action, and others use their fears that stop them. And whenever I'm doing something, I found this is repeated throughout my life. Yeah, man, you're going to do a book? No, man, you can't do a book. Like, what are you doing? No, you know, like I get all of these kinds of things. Every step of the way, you're going to start a museum. Come on, man. Everybody else has tried a museum. It's going to be the same. Like, you know, all these different sort of projections of, yeah, you're doing something that I wouldn't dare to try. So, no, it's going to fail. And let me tell you all the reasons why. You know, yeah. It's
everything that would not work for me, everything I wouldn't be able to do, every mountain I wouldn't be able to climb, then guess what? You definitely can do it. It's technically what they're saying. No, the thing I appreciate about your statement there, and not just that statement, but in general, a certain level of honesty, is some people try to give off the air of, I am fearless. I just do what I do. I just mean him or my name. I like what you said a while ago to say that you use your fear as fuel. So that says to me, it doesn't mean that you didn't have the fear or the concern or you know what I'm saying? But it just was not something that was going to hold David I back. Whereas some people try to make it seem like, oh, me? Nah, man, I mean him Superman. I want to fire.
And you know what, G, for me, honestly, I don't want to take up too much time on your program, but for me, I have failed so many times, but it doesn't stop me from trying to succeed. Like, it's okay when you don't make the failure break you, then it really ends up strengthening you. You know, my first venture in America, when I moved to New York City, I started a business called Bronx Business. It was called actually BronxBiz.com. This was in the 90s. Websites weren't where they are today. This was an early out thing. I was trying to do an online database of businesses in the city I was living in and trying to see how we could project that. I was just a little bit too early and it really failed. That's one of my greatest failures in business.
Right.
But it didn't stop me from starting the next business. Like, it's okay that it flopped. I just realized, hey, you know, I was a little bit too much wanting what I thought could be successful and didn't really stop to properly analyze what the world was ready for, or what my community was ready for at that time. Right. And that's okay. But then I use it for the next one to be just a little bit smarter and a little bit more, okay, play it back to what's realistic for most people, even though my goals maybe last year don't go all the way in from day one. And I've used that in most other business since that to be more successful. Right. Because, you know, the truth is you need people to buy into what you're doing. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to be successful on your own. So there was a great lesson in that failure and subsequent failures. I've both had victories and failures interspersed throughout, but I don't let them stop me from moving forward. Figure out where I went wrong and apply the change so that I can be more successful in the next attempt.
You know, I take a lot from that. And even as I've done research on many successful people, same thing you said there, the early failures. We talk about those failures, whether it be early or along the way, a lot of times those failures are the most valuable gems and tools that contributed to the timely success whenever it came. right? Because the amount of lessons you drew from that just based on what you just said a while ago. You knew next effort, next venture you went into, you know what I mean? You would be, of course, way, way, way more realistic about it. You know what I mean? You'll navigate the waters a little bit differently and rah, rah, rah. So there was a lot more learning from that. So that failure actually right now is a failure that money can't buy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, man.
My brother, always, man. Always,
Love,
always. As you
love,
can tell, I'm on the
man,
road
G.
right
Cole.
now. So when I come back in town, you gotta come in the studio, we gotta chop it up.
Definitely. And we need to go by butterflakes and eat a swimming or something.
Yo, by the way, I'll tell you this. I'm gonna just drop it right out there because I remember you had told me about the jerk chicken what I'm doing on a Friday evening, right? And
Yeah,
and you spoke of it with a certain level of reverence, right? And when I went out there, I saw why you spoke of it with a reverence. The word is the thing turn up. It turn up. Lord.
Yeah, man.
All right, my brother.
Love.
Give thanks,
have a
man.
great journey. I'll see you when you get back in town.
All right, my brother. Give thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, David I. We have more music for you.
Dime todo lo que estás pensando. Quiero saber tus secretos. ¿Te parece? When girl meets boy, she plans to make you fall in love. Some kind of loving, make you look at her like there's no one else but you and I. Only a girl could understand it, 'cause I know by now you've already kissed me in your head.
Caller, you are live. How are you? How are you? How are you?
Good evening, G. Cole.
Greetings, man. Pleasure. Always good to hear your voice. I thank you so much for taking a minute or two to call in and bless us with your time. Now, I mean,
yeah, man, I can relate to what David was saying about the genuine. You know, that it hurts more that you're not performing to society's expectations, so they'd stab you with the knife. You know, and it hurts, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I presume you've been through that maybe once or twice, right?
Once or twice.
No, originally we're talking about the insecurities, and the good thing about stuff like this is that it goes as far, the pendulum swings, it goes left to right. But originally we're talking about it from the vantage point of just man meeting woman or woman meeting man, and the presumptions and assumptions that come with it that I deem coming from a place of insecurities, right? So from a business aspect, yes, we see it all the time, and some people refer to it as being a hater. You know what I'm saying? But from a personal standpoint, boy, I see that lioness, the people them start say our voice sounds sweet, all them thing that you say talk about. Jano. So start already. So talk to me a little bit about
blush. You're making me blush. The only witness I have is the rabbit hopping across my backyard. Come on.
Well, it's all good. We spoke about the DMs in our previous conversation. Your DMs will be lighting up. Talk to me about these insecurities and people projecting them. You had mentioned earlier that it comes from a place of subconscious, and just expound on that a little bit for me.
Well, okay, when I was referring to subconscious, I just mean like you're not always right at the front of your head walking around with all these thoughts, oh, she's like this or these like that or whatever. It just kind of draws itself up when you're in that situation is what I meant. So I agree with you that it's always there in your mind.
Right.
But it's not always right the first thing that you're thinking of until you're presented with the situation. You meet the girl, you meet the boy, whatever, and then something happens and boom, that's all you can think about is they must be better than me or richer than me or want this or want that. So that's what I meant by the subconscious. But
Gotcha.
So in my experience now, I'm going to share my experience. So I had this guy, and we were friends for a long time. We knew each other for a long time. It wasn't just a fresh meeting. I didn't know anything about this person. So we traveled in the same circles and whatnot. And then, you catch each other under different life circumstances and you look at each other a little differently and the vibe's there. And you're looking going, So we start chatting and everything else is nice and whatnot. And we start seeing each other. And I noticed that he would always come check for me or we would meet out somewhere, but he would never bring me to his house. So I try, I'm thinking what I'm thinking. I'm probably, if I'm being honest, projecting to myself, maybe he's married, maybe he's got a girl, maybe, there's so many reasons. So I'm starting to feel myself projecting that maybe he's got a wife hidden away or something. So I actually called him out on it and just, asked him. I said, is there a reason that we never go check you in the city because we're always in town at the music shows and you live right here?
Right.
It's so much easier, it feels like to me. And he wouldn't really come out and say. So he did invite me to his house, and we went to his apartment. He had a little studio place downtown. And I found out about 2 months later that he was actually afraid to bring me to his yard. And I said, why would you ever feel afraid? He said, because I don't have a lot of things. I don't have a big house. I don't drive a fancy car. Like, he lived in a 10 by 10 studio downtown Toronto.
Right.
No car. He rode the subway, and he said, I figured like that was subpar expectations for a woman like you. I said, what do you mean a woman like me? He says, you've had a career for the last 10, 12 years. You're self-sustained. You don't need anyone to pay your bills. You don't flash blingy jewelry and all this stuff. You're very self-sustained.
Right.
He said, so what do I have to offer you? And I thought, wow, like it was a real blow to me. Like,
I can imagine
how incredible it was that he's sitting there. I'm thinking I have this very basic life because I'm not showy.
Right.
I'm not a flashy girl. I don't wear diamonds and jewels and bling and hair done and all that, to each their own. That's just not me. So for him to say that he felt he was below my expectations just floored me. And we, honest, I was lucky that he was a transparent guy once he learned that he could trust me with those things.
Right.
We had a full transparent, pardon me?
Did that change anything for you? Realizing there that the insecurities were there, did that change anything for you in how you viewed the relationship or a future or anything?
No, because I enjoyed him. I enjoyed him as a person, like you as a person. And I said to him, I said, listen, I said, my interest in you is not you and your home, you and your car, you and the suit you wear. It's you as a human being. I said, your surroundings are what they are and mine are what they are. Right. If anything, it was like a sigh of relief once we had that conversation. I wish we had had it sooner. And then we ended up having a very, very intense, transparent, honest relationship for the next 3 years or more. Wow. And again, to be honest, because I'm accountable for my own self, one of the reasons that our relationship ended is because I kept projecting some of my insecurity onto him, which was my fear of rejection.
Right.
So whenever, like you say, you're not available, he would make up stories about not being available and wouldn't really say, I'm just not feeling it or this and that. I would take it to mean he wasn't interested.
I got you.
Or he was losing interest. And so it just came in, full circle kind of vibe, kind of bit me in my own arse, right? But,
right. Well, I mean, from both of you, based on what you're saying, from him and from you, even with him, it is insecurities, but it kind of sounds to me like with him, it's probably previous experience too. You know what I mean? Because if it's just about the insecurities, and this is the question that I asked somebody before, I said, listen, if you see somebody and you think that they're out of your league because of your insecurity feeds to you that they're out of your league, then why not just look to the left and try to locate somebody who you think is in your league versus the projections of letting them know that this is what it is, or lying, or this or that or that. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I always wonder about. But I mean, in his case, it almost sounds like it was a case of the past, of using his past or other experiences to kind of paint you.
Well, he did say that during the relationship. He said, I've never known a woman like you.
Wow.
As someone who's just there and present and in the moment, and without all the big expectations, and without having, you have to do this, you have to do that to be in the relationship. There was none of that. It was just a flow we had, and we just went with the flow, and it worked. And he said, I've never met a woman that's not sitting there expecting all these things from me. I said, no. I said, material things don't fulfill me.
Right.
And he couldn't wrap his head. It took him a long time to wrap his head around that. Material things are not what I'm after.
Right.
And I'm after the honesty, the transparency, and when I say intimacy, I don't mean sexual intimacy. I mean conversation, intellect, emotional thought, that kind of thing. That's what I want. That fulfills me. And he provided that.
Right.
I said, I could care less what kind of clothes you wear. If you have $10 jean from Walmart, good for you.
Right. It ain't about
You're fulfilling me in these other ways. That means more to me than any ring on your finger or what car you drive. Right. So, there was a lot of projecting on both sides for sure.
It happens. And I appreciate the honesty. And I'll ask you this from your vantage point, where, because like I said, just listening to what you said he did and how he acted, it comes across to me that it's, previous experience. Maybe it's a scar, maybe he's hurt and he's projecting that on you. Now, the fear of rejection and all that stuff that you said you projected on him, was that coming from within, or was that also your case of a previous experience and you just say, you know what, these dudes gotta all be the same?
I would, okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna be honest, but with a bit of a fun twist. So, the cliche, the woman has daddy issues.
Right.
Okay, well, this is a lifetime issue I have with rejection because of my dad. So my dad, he was a father of convenience, and it was never convenient. You get my drift. Right. He'd be right around the corner and could never be bothered. Right. So I grew up feeling a way about that, and I grew up making a lot of bad choices because of that. Because I was really not sure what it should feel like to be loved by a man. And he actually, my ex, called me out on it, and he said to me one time straight up, he said, "Yo, man, you got daddy issues. Go write a song, get it out of your system." But he said, like, he just said that in the moment, but I actually did write a song, and liking enough, it's called "The Void."
Wow.
Which basically explains how I feel about my father in his absence, but it's hardwired. Like I'm not ashamed to admit, I've had therapy over it. I've had discussions with people, retreats and spiritual meditation, all kinds of stuff, because that's my biggest fear.
Right.
That is so ingrained in me that it comes out all the time, is that fear of being rejected and ignored like that, rather than have the conversation.
Gotcha.
I'd rather you come to me straight up and say, "Yo, I'm not feeling this anymore. There's no spark. There's no vibe. It's not going to work." I'd rather be hurt in that moment than have you just disappear on me for 3 months without a word.
Right. And
there's a huge gap in the hurt scale on that,
Yeah. No, it's true. And I mean, even hearing that, it's insecurities are one thing. Some things is really, if somebody doesn't tell you something, then you're left in a position of speculation, right? So if somebody doesn't tell you what the real is, then you're telling me to assume. And if I assume, I'm gonna be wrong, or I might assume whatever I feel like assuming.
Well,
and in that case, is probably what happened.
And let's face it, our mind is our own worst enemy. Overthinkers unite right here. You think about things so much, and you make up things in your mind that make sense to you, and they become truth.
Right.
And they could be further from the truth.
Right.
But your mind is, it can work against you the same way. It's like, I tell my friends when they're saying this and that and whatever, I said, don't ever ask yourself why. Why does this happen to me or whatever? I said, ask what you can learn from it. I said, if you ask why, your brain will automatically formulate 3 negative answers.
Gospel. I feel like I need to sample that right there.
Right? Because it's true though. Like your brain is just unfortunately, a lot of people is hardwired that way. The first instinct is to react negatively and come up with some bad scenario. But like I said, I'd rather just rip the Band-Aid off and tell me it's not working. You don't love me no more. You found someone else. Tell me something.
Right.
But don't do what they call it, ghosting.
Yep.
They call it ghosting when you just disappear without a word. That leaves people in agony, man.
Yeah. Because you don't even know if it's over. You want to, I mean,
exactly.
Is this guy coming back so we can settle this situation or whatever? And and then it puts you in a position also that you can't even really move on, because then if you move on, you may be moving on from an incomplete relationship, and you're over here trying to start something new. Next thing, the new person's like, "Oh, you got somebody. I didn't know that." You know what I mean? So.
Well, and the irony, like the relationship that I described earlier, the irony is after this 3.5 years we were together, like it was a fantastic 3 years, and I'll never regret being with this person because he is a wonderful man. We're friends to this day. But in full circle irony, he learned a lot about how my rejection issues and ignoring, and he tried his best to be straightforward with me and honest and whatever. But he went to somewhere in his mind, the last 2 months of our relationship, he did that. He ghosted me and just went silent because we had a quarrel. And that was a trigger for him or whatever. He couldn't handle the confrontation, so he just went mute. Wouldn't take my calls, couldn't see him, couldn't, say nothing. So I put up with 2 months. And then I finally said, okay, you know what? I showed up at his door because I had the key.
Right.
I said, you forgot you gave me a key, brother. Like I said, I've given you enough time to come around and be grown and have a conversation with me. I said, but you're just leaving me dangling. So here it is. I'm out.
Right.
I said, I'm out. I said, if you're going to use all that against me, then I'm out.
Now, you obviously learned. By the way, the song "Void" is it in the songs that you sent to me or no?
It wouldn't have been in the package I sent to you, but I can send it. I have it on.
Please
I have it in my file.
Please do. Now, you guys are still friends, you said, and it's evident that you've grown from the situation. So one of the luxuries that you have being friends is now you've been in that position with him where it was a romantic relationship. Now you're just, friends, and you can see him live on in his relationships. Can you see, or is there any evidence that he actually, and I'm asking this for all mankind, because a lot of times we wonder if men learn from anything. Have you seen any evidence that he has learned?
That. No? Well, okay. Well, I mean, he hasn't been with anyone else since we broke up. Okay. And that was about 4 years ago.
Gotcha.
But he's a very, how do I put this? He's a very eccentric person. Like, he does not march to societal norms. He's a freelance sound engineer, recording tech, studio music. He does sound for big concerts and all that stuff. And he's always just been his own very unique, eccentric person. So I don't have any expectations of him, really.
I got you.
I don't see him with another woman, and him and I, like I said, we could talk about anything, anywhere, anytime.
Right.
And he's just that solid. He's got my back no matter what, as a friend, lover, whatever.
Right. He's that dude.
But whether he's learned or not, I couldn't tell you.
Right. I guess
I haven't seen him apply anything to a next relationship, I haven't been in a serious relationship either.
Right.
I enjoy myself. I like being alone for now until I find someone that actually complements my life.
Right.
I'm perfectly content by myself.
I feel you.
I haven't. Yeah, I can't answer that, to be honest. I don't know.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to that song. All right, because
I'll send that forward.
Please do. I appreciate you. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Lioness, make sure you check out the music. You've heard us play it here. We'll continue to do so. Thank you so much, my friend.
All right.
I appreciate you. All right.
Give thanks, blessings, everyone.
Much love.
All right.
Yeah. Shelly, what's poppin'? I see you. Martin, easy,
Oh, when the night becomes the morning, the sun starts shining through.
Shelly says, my experiences with my spouse's insecurities was that he was intimidated by an educated woman who has a good job and earns a good salary. The crazy thing is, I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen in personal circles. And you know what's funny, Shelly? You said something a little earlier. From my experience, here it is. You said, from my experience, my ex always told me whenever we argued, his words was, the worst thing is being married to an educated woman. You'll never win. That in itself is a ball of insecurity. And trust me, I've heard men verbalize that before, and it's always the same situations. You know what I mean? If she's educated and you don't think you could keep up or compete, go get that education. You know what I mean? You can do that. But that insecurity thing runs deep. Martin says, limited thinkers are incapable of seeing the big picture. Can't allow them to limit you. I'm sure you're referring to David I's comment earlier. Julie says, so true. So true. All right. Linus says, I feel like, David, it does hurt the genuine people who walk different than the norm, whatever that is. All right. So true. Again, I want to thank y'all for rocking out with me. We're not gone yet today. We have more vibes coming through. What up, Hope? How are you? Martin said, sweetie, you're not easy. You don't. Easy. David I says, Zane, I've certainly been overly conscious about not having the resources to I guess win over a lady who seems to have it all together as well. And don't get me wrong, it's not to say I don't understand the insecurity, But you know what I like for know? Because normally that sentiment, I've heard it from the men. I've heard it from the men saying, yo, yeah, I feel a little, maybe intimidated is the word, maybe it is not. You know, but like I said, overly conscious. I like that sentiment about not having the resources to win over a lady who seems to have it all together. Is it because society points in the finger in the direction that that's how it should be, we winning over? Because the women who ain't got it, they're not insecure. They roll up to you with $3 talking about, hey, baby, what you? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I understand exactly what you mean. Julian says, where are the men getting these ideas of what a woman wants, though? And of course, Julie up there in Canada, she not easy. You know, when the Julie them link up together, it's problems. Julie says, from other men. Julie, see, I gotta stop it here. Yeah, I gotta stop it. Martin says, the inability to communicate is often a characteristic of insecurity. Insecurity resides in the mind, 100%. Usually when it comes out, it's counterproductive. I think at least, all right? And I'm so with you. I'm so with you. I'm so with you. David I says, up here, and from our experience with women too. You see, she just projects something on David. She just projected when she said it's from men. You understand? From men. I like your answer here. And from our experiences with women too. It is so true. All right, stop project my way. All right, fellas just need love too. All right. Beverly says you two need to talk. Trust me. All right. Lioness, pleasure. Always a pleasure. Always. All right. Beverly said, don't say bye. Call her. Trust me. Hold on. Julian. That's where I believe society and upbringing plays a part in those beliefs. I love and all appreciate it, man. Trust me. All the massive crew in New York. You know, it's crazy times right now. We're looking for things to do, and there's some unique stuff that have popped up, right? And that's going on right now. One thing that I'm looking forward to going up and checking out, and you know what I mean, partaking in, and Ray is this event called, and you've seen me bring on other events in Jamaica and speak about them, but this one right here is going to be in New York. It's from Friday, June 18th to Saturday, June 19th for those people who are going to be in New York, who are going to be close by, you know what I mean, who are tri-state area. All right. It's called Paint and Puff. You don't know the things that are It's adults only. All right. Leave your kids at the crib. It's a cannabis-friendly painting workshop with food, drinks, and more. All right. It's going to be in Flushing, Queens, New York. Them have an early bird thing going right about now. You can buy 4 tickets. You can get 1 free. All right. Just hit it up. All the info right about now. Come to my page. I am going to tell you the details, phone numbers, and the whole 9. But you can go to eventbrite.com and look up Paint Puff. All right. Paint and Puff. A thing there in New York. It turn up. I'm going to get the address. I'm going to get the whole 9. I'm going to get all that for you. Remember, it's in Flushing's Queen. Look for the picture that look just like this. You're in New York. You're looking for something different to do, something spectacular to do. I ate this. You know what I mean? Go check it out. It's a nice vibe, you know what I mean? Light up the things. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking some stuff. We're having a good vibe. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. We still got some time.
Oh, when the night becomes the morning, the sun starts shining through. Birds, they start to sing, and all I think about is you. Pour a cup of coffee.
Just messing with you, Julie.
My favorite chair. Pick up the morning paper, then smile from ear to ear. Ooh, this loving feeling that's coming over.
David, I say I have insecurities, confessed. All right, I dig the honesty, I dig the truth. However, I do try to state them and see if they can be overcome together.
I'm tired, so humble in my eyes.
Tell Julie that you know why you're not boy insecurities here.
What you do to me,
Julie, none of them thing there.
I think I'm in love with you, baby. Yeah. Think I'm in love.
Who we talking about, Beverly?
Think I'm in love with you, baby.
Again, I dedicate tonight's show, man, to the memory of late, great Rassaz.
You said you really have
Royal Zion and his family.
Way these months have been. We've got a bottle chilling and the lights already dim. The night is just beginning.
Want to thank my callers.
There's something else.
Might have time to take one more call, just one more. Got the messages coming in everywhere. WhatsApp everywhere.
Ooh, this love love and feel.
Oh, might be able to take one more. It's 954-372-5453. 954-372-5453.
Oh, girl, I'm shaking, way down in the knees. That's how you make me feel. Oh, I think I'm in love. I think I'm in love with you, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Julianne Lee says, David, I'm here. People should not think that their new partner will be the same as their previous partner.
Think I'm in love with
Loosely translated.
yeah.
No use no man fat and fry me. Now that just a Julian. Hey Raya, how you doing, sweetie pie? How you doing? Got a big up Reese. Next week, we're going to be speaking to the curators of that event, Buff and Paint in New York. We're going to get the details from them, get them on the horn, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, start making plans. Tell your friends to tell their friends. If you're going to be in the New York area,
we down in my knees.
Or if you weren't planning on it, no, you got a reason to, all right?
Yeah. That's what you do to me. Could this be love? Could this be love? Could this be love? Oh. Could this be love? Could this be love?
It's Jay Will on the Raps and Kush Band.
Yeah, yeah. Love with you. Tell without your touch.
It's yours truly, G. Cole on the Raps and Kush Band. It's called Since You Came Into My Life. True story, y'all. True story. Had to write it down like Lioness did.
Into my life. Since you came into my life, it doesn't seem to rain again. Since you came into my life, I don't see this world the same again. Since you came into my life, I don't really feel this pain again. Since you came into my life, since you came into my life, I'm gonna say it cause I'm certain you're an angel here on earth. I can't even find the words to really tell you what you were. Sometimes tears of joy escape me, and I'm not the crying type. But baby, everything feels right since you came into my life. Since you came into my life, it doesn't seem to rain again. Since you came into my life, I don't see this world the same again. Since you came into my life, I don't really feel this pain again. Since you came into my life, since you came into my life, I can feel the spots when you hold me, and I'm holding on to you. All the special things you've showed me, girl, I'm so in love with you. I wanna plant you a field of roses to show you how I feel. And I'm just hoping, girl, that you notice that my love for you was real. And I know there'll be rough times and some stormy days, but if we build our home on true love, when it rains, it'll never be able to wash us away. Here's what we've got is love. Since you came into my life.
It is yours truly, ladies and gentlemen. The album is called Ocho Rios. It's G. Cole and the Raps and Kush Band. Since you came into my life, Connor Sharp Rhythm, Large Up Johnny Wonder, Junior Blender. No, the artist on this compilation is a dope one, trust me.
Since you came into my life, since you came into my life, it doesn't seem to rain again. Since you came into my life, I don't see this world the same again. Since you came into my life, I don't really feel this pain again. Since you came into my life, since you came into my life, I'm gonna say it cause I'm certain
You're an angel here on earth. I can't even find the words to really tell you what you were. Sometimes tears of joy escape me, and I'm not the crying type. But baby, everything feels right since you came into my life. Since you came into my life, it doesn't seem to rain again. Since you came into my life, I don't see this world the same again. Since you came into my life, I don't really feel this pain again. Since you came into my life, since you came into my life, I can feel the sparks when you hold me, and I'm holding on to you. All the special things you've shown me, girl, I'm so in love with you. I wanna plant you a field of roses to show you how I feel. And I'm just hoping, girl, that you notice that my love for you was real. And I know there'll be rough times and some stormy days, but if we build our home on true love, when it rains, it'll never be able to wash us away. 'Cause what we've got is love. Since you came into my life, since you came into my life, it doesn't seem to rain again. Since you came into my life, I don't see this world the same again. Since you came into my life, I don't really feel this pain again. Since you came into my life, since you came into my life, I'm gonna say it 'cause I'm certain you're an angel here on earth. I can't even find the words to really tell you what you were. Sometimes tears of joy escape me, and I'm not the crying type. But baby, everything feels right since you came into my life. Since you came into my life, it doesn't seem to rain again. Since you came into my life, I don't see this world.
It's yours truly, ladies and gentlemen. It's G. Cole. It's Raps and Kush Band, all right? And it's called Since You Came Into My Life. Got another call. I can tell you, we'll take one more before we get up out of here. We got a convo. We got to keep going. Not true. Caller. You're live. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Can't complain. Normally, I don't say this on Mondays, but today's been a dope one. It's been a good one. So we talk about insecurities and people projecting them on people, right? Has anybody projected their insecurities on you?
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
But give me 1 second because I'm hearing the show and I'm hearing me. Just a sec.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know how to stop it. So anyway, yes, actually, my sister has.
Your sister has?
Yes. So, I think that she has this thing about definitely being ignored.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember there was a Sunday I do. We do produce Sundays up here every other Sunday because we put together produce for families in the community. So it's not just our Caribbean community, but the community as a whole in Calgary here. And she was calling me, but everything that we do, so there's a process, right? So the truck comes, we unload the truck, we sort the stuff, and then we package it out. And she was calling me during the time that I was away from my phone, and she came in to the building. So she came later at a later time, and basically was giving me the freeze out or the cold shoulder. And I was thinking, like, well, what's your problem? So I said to her, like, what's up? And she said that, she was talking to everybody else. So she said hello to everybody else when she came in. And I'm like, okay, so what am I, chopped liver? So then she didn't say anything to me. So I called her. I called her aside, and I was saying, like, well, what's up with you? And she said, oh, now you can talk to me. And I thought, well, I don't know what you're talking about. She said, oh, I told you. And I thought, well, great, but you know what I'm doing. So there was no need for the attitude. But I mean, it happens within families. It happens because people think that you are a certain, like people thought that, or think, some people still think I'm a snob. Now, whether that's because of the way I dress, the way I speak, or whatever, this is just like somebody might see me and just suddenly dislike me because they think I'm going to act with or have airs, which I'm as down to earth as anybody could come, especially in my family.
Right.
So yeah, but let me when I responded to Julianne's comments, really and truly, what I should have said, it's not just men. Yes, it does come from people's experiences or whatever, but typically when you have an issue, and this is proven because you said you had conversation with a friend about somebody, right? Now, typically when you are having an issue that may have been created by yourself for whatever reason, typically you turn to the people that are in your life that you confide in, whether it be man, woman, parent, sibling, whatever. And so technically that response was only a partial response to her comment. So I apologize if any men took it wrong. I wasn't trying to call out the men. I'm a stickler for that. I don't like that. I don't like to.
I will say this:
categorize and group and things like that. So, but typically when you have an issue, more time, if you're not turning to your partner or some family member or some elder, you're turning to the people or the company that you keep.
Right. True that.
Whether it be male or female.
True that. And I will say this to let you off the hook. Don't worry about it. Regardless of what you meant, I was going to take it there anyway. I was just being mischievous. So, it is, it is what it is. But I'll tell you this.
Exactly. And yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, sometimes being the type of person that I am, usually, like, if I see something and something comes to my mind right away, I'm pretty quick to respond. And that came off as a little bit flip. And I've been accused of that before.
It's all right. It's all right. Tell your sister to chill also, because to be perfectly honest with you, I have, from that vantage point, I've experienced that in my own family. So, in terms of people putting their insecurities on you, and I do what you've got to do. I'm not telling you not to do it, but what I do, what I acquire, whatever the case may be, has got nothing to do with you and your stuff. I mean, I'm not judging you. Don't judge me. So I understand exactly what you mean. But listen, Canada's repping. Somebody just typed in line and said repping Toronto, Canada here. I thank you so much for sharing your time, your evening, and your experience with us. And there's a lot of people out there right now saying, "Yeah, man, my sister. Yeah, man, my brother. Yeah, man, I can't." No, I'm just done. They didn't say that, but you know what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
If just yes, so I just so. If I saw no so.
Canada. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate you. We do strive to get it across the globe, man. And with you mentioning that, here's the deal. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Homegrown with G Cole. It's available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcast. We are there. I am sincerely grateful to everybody. The podcast is now being downloaded in over 49 countries. Let's keep it going. All right. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so right away. This one is Chesedek. It is called Stand Still. Comes from his latest album, Hello Africa. One of my favorite joints. All right. This is how we're rolling up and out of here.
If I saw no so.
Julie, thank you so much. What up, Empress Unique? So good to see you. Guess what? I'm a free man. The court say let him go.
The one where you be kulu naga give it out. Got it up, but you still have to go dig it out. Mama go and ban your belly and live it out. People in a camel, them a piece if it don't stand still. Ooh, nothing not turn. How you get your hands still? Ooh, the whole place in a standstill. Ooh, nothing not turn. How you get your hands still? Ooh. Turn to the hills for them can't take it by ya. Can't take it suffering from the street side ya. So enough seed but it hard to survive ya. Can't find money to buy fertilizer. Skillful man.
Give it that.
Long fingernail have got on screwdriver. Hungry make you swallow your pride with saliva. In a them your hard time ya. When I just stand still. Ooh.
I like that one. And guess what? We need to talk about that one more in depth. Judgmental thing there. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. I'll be back in the studio real soon live. I remember I got a couple free CDs I'm gonna be giving out, okay? Y'all seen it on the social media. Follow me Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at my G Cole.
The big man run away and gone weapon tour for them no comfortable.
For your chance to win a copy.
Too much hungry dog on the street, they approve anything where them find scrap metal or coal. No matter how much police from patrol, construction site them gone with the payroll. Politicians have the people under control. For them not vote already and them still unsure. No matter how them ball Babylon and ignore.
Thanks, Julianne.
Operation down from the poor, this a standstill. Ooh, nothing not turn. Who you get your hands still? Ooh, the whole place in a standstill. Ooh.
Thank you so much, Beverly. I appreciate you.
Not turn. How you get your hands still? Ooh.
Definitely, Linus, will do.
Times like these, when things get tougher. Who don't have no link for the food I go suffer. Man, me a pick up the truth. Me no scare, me no stutter. Some keep silent cause them bread done butter. From the end of the stream straight down to the gutter. No cash flow, them pull down the shutter. Man, you just can't give up your wife be a road cutter. But a cut buckle cause him can't find supper. This a standstill. Ooh.
Thank you so much.
Not turn.
I appreciate you.
Ooh.
Out to the fam right now that's locked in from Haiti. Jamaica's locked in. Grant Cayman is here. See the Bahamas locked in with us right now. What up? Amsterdam's here. What up, Esther? Sweden's in the building. Denmark is here too.
The hills for them can't take it vibe ya. Can't take it suffering from the street side ya. So enough seed but it hard to survive ya. Can't find money fi buy fertilizer. Skillful man a figure skill like MacGyver. Long fingernail a figure turn screwdriver.
Hey Pansy, what up?
Right with saliva.
So good to see ya.
Time ya. Man I just stand still. Ooh, not turn. How you get your hands feel? Ooh,
I got to roll. Thank y'all so much.
Place in a standstill. Ooh, not turn. How you get your hands feel?
See y'all tomorrow, okay?
Ooh,
same place, same time. It's gonna be a vibe.
Place in a standstill. Ooh, not turn. How you get your hands feel? Ooh, everything just stands still. Ooh, not turn. How you get your hands feel? Ooh.
Nakikinika esta música, Homegrown with G. Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G. Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G. Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole.